Ah, the fascinating lion turtle. Just like dragons, the legend says that these mysterious animals have been brought to extinction by greedy humans. But as Fire Lord Zuko's dragon testifies, I say fake news. Lion turtles have been the protectors of mankind for generations, and while they supposedly vanished from the human world, it doesn't mean that we can't find them anywhere. In today's Avatar video, I will take you on a journey through the spirit world in order to find a variety of undiscovered lion turtles that hold bending abilities beyond the 4 elements. Compass? Check. Map? Check.
Cabbage.
Check. Alright, mount your sky bisons, people, because we're going for a ride to the other side. Yip yip! First time Team Avatar got a first look at a lion turtle was when they visited the hidden library. While the knowledge spirit eventually sank the library into desert sand, the group had time to glimpse at an image of lion turtles. The painting shows 3 of these giant creatures roaming the spirit wilds, as one human stands before one of them. What's surprising about them is not really their size, although I wouldn't stand in their way, but how they differ from the lion turtles Aang met later on in the series. There's a few differences that caught my eye when I compared both versions. The ones painted on the scroll are missing those 2 giant fangs coming out from both the lion turtle Aang met and the one met back in the days. Why am I focusing on these creatures' dental work? Well, for one, it means that these titans can actually evolve, which will be useful for today's theory. Take another look at that ancient scroll. Now remember the other 2 lion turtles. Do you see another difference? Well, the ones found on the scroll have a regular turtle shell on their backs. The others, not so much. Aang's lion turtle has a huge forest growing on its back, while Wan's literally has a whole city on its shell. This means that as time passes, lion turtles have adapted to their environment, making it possible for them to have survived the Great Lion Turtle Purge, whether in the human or the spirit world, or even both. The ancient scroll seems to represent humans' first encounter with the creatures, and might explain a thing or two about why they started growing trees on their backs. They might have started to grow forests to cosplay as mountains, fooling dark spirits who were after their powers. Humans who didn't have much power back then saw this as a good opportunity to protect themselves from the same threat. That would also explain why they grew these amazing fangs. While they could protect themselves by hiding in their shells, their fangs allowed them to keep enemies of humans at bay. This is where humans and lion turtles united and lived happily ever after. Well, that is until elemental benders used the lion turtles' powers against them, purging most of their kind, while others went into hiding. While the last discovered lion turtle was traveling the world by sea, hiding in the form of an island, wouldn't there be a more efficient way of getting under humans' radar? The answer lies in the Legend of Korra's 3rd season title, Change. Avatar's sequel series is all about evolution. From lightning generation and metal bending becoming almost mainstream, to the return of a combined world between spirits and humans, the series' universe has never been that altered. This makes me think that Aang's lion turtle was not just running away from humans, it was laying eggs around the world. Since lion turtles rarely met during Rava's era, they must have evolved to be able to reproduce without the need of a mate, just like the Komodo dragon. The newborn lion turtles scattered across the 4 nations would of course be different and never reach the titan size of their daddy mommy. In order for their kind to survive in a new world, they would have to be smaller, and just like chameleons, be able to fade away in their new habitat. While they would slightly differ from one to another, I imagine them to be slightly bigger than the average human being, about the size of a very big dog. But how would their bending powers work? Would they have the same as their monoparental daddy mommy? Would they have any? Let's dig deeper into the idea and find out what kind of lion turtles we would get. At CBR, I've been on a quest to reimagine and expand on bending abilities. In recent videos, I've either hinted or fully covered sub-bending abilities like pure metal bending or wood bending. I've also made videos explaining newly revealed abilities made canon like smoke bending in the Avatar comic book Smoke and Shadow, or glass bending in the novel The Shadow of Kyoshi, the final entry in a duology. Some of the sub-bending abilities have surfaced recently or seem to have been lost through time. On one side, I've argued that metal bending and wood bending could be categorized as pure bending types when I explained the Wuxing or the 5 elements in Chinese philosophy. On the other, smoke bending is a fire bending skill, while glass bending is an earth bending skill, mostly used through sand bending. According to this logic, we would have 6 main elements to bend from: fire, air, water, earth, metal, and wood. The last two might have just been skipped from the Avatar reincarnation cycle simply because the first Avatar 1 never met the metal and wood lion turtles. After all, he was not about to tour all these continents on foot, right? What I'm getting at here is that the newer, smaller lion turtle does not hold the 4 main Avatar elements, but the 2 much rarer ones, and sub-elemental skills. There's already enough humans doing that already. Like Korra's last season's title hints at, what we need is balance. Let's take a look at those small lion turtles and see how their powers would work. First, we have the wood lion turtle. Think Bulbasaur, but more woody than planty. Just like the woodbending tribe I imagined in my video on woodbending, the wood lion turtle's scales would mimic the white, gray, and black color palette of the birch tree's bark. They would live in harmony with the woodbenders in a forest somewhere on an island not too far from the Eastern Air Temple. It's true that lion turtles are not really fighters, but they do have some defense mechanisms besides hiding. The wood lion turtle would be able to retract roots from under its shell, mainly to move around faster, climb trees, or pick fruits. But it could also cause some real damage points if needed. These roots can extend their reach to the stars above. Contrary to the webbed feet of the ancient lion turtles, the wood lion turtles would be all about claws. The webbing between its fingers and toes would almost be non-existent, and its sharp claws would make it easier for it to climb trees and ground itself when using their roots. They would also be slightly lighter than other lion turtles and way less heavy than their cousin, the metal lion turtle. Let's travel a bit more north to find out more about these ones. The nomadic lion turtle would have laid eggs in the northern region of the Earth Kingdom, giving birth to metal lion turtles. These creatures would live hidden away in mountains, and more precisely, in caves. Their claws, teeth, and shell would be made out of platinum, allowing them to dig through anything and move freely around caves without worrying about getting crushed. This fun fact would also protect them against earthbenders who can metal bend, since platinum, being a pure metal, is impossible to bend by these types of benders. Unlike the wood lion turtles who protect and are protected by woodbenders, the metal lion turtles would live in fear of humans, preferring to stay away. And after what happened to their ancestors and how the Fire Nation treated dragons, who can blame them? Could those 2 pure elemental bending types be acquired? Of course they could. This would set off a new journey for a future Avatar. Just like Aang had to travel the world to master all 4 elements, the future Avatar would have to travel to the east, convince a wood lion turtle to grant him the power of woodbending just like Wan did many centuries ago. This visit to the east could also be the opportunity to learn new fighting techniques and master woodbending with the help of expert woodbenders. In the case of gaining a metal lion turtle's trust, let's just say they would probably welcome you Toph style. Gotta dig your way through that one. Next, let's fly to the Fire Nation territory and find out about some of these sub-elemental lion turtles living out there. Remember Roku's volcanic island? Yeah, the one that erupted, taking the life of the fire avatar in the process. Well, since the place has been deserted for a long time now, and nature has slowly started taking over, it was the perfect place to leave some tiny lion turtle eggs. While not as aggressive as their metal counterpart, the smoke lion turtles have a few tricks up their sleeves when it comes to scaring off people who wander onto the island. These smoke-bending creatures are armed with an antenna on top of their head. They can light up the tip of their antenna, which produces smoke that they can control. Just like Azula and her fire warriors have recycled the Kimurakage legend using smoke bending, the smoke lion turtles created something similar. Not only can they hide themselves using smoke, but they can mold the smoke to any form they wish. Imagine a land with walking smoke specters at every corner. Okay, I creep myself out there. Anyways, I really wonder what kind of techniques could be born out of smoke bending now. You know what? Let's discuss it. What would I do with such powers? For starters, I definitely use smoke specters to freak out my enemies and friends, and just like waterbenders can create fog, I could produce a big amount of smoke which would blind my enemies and put them to sleep at the same time. Smoke bending would definitely be made for stealth-type benders. Smoke bending ninjas, anyone? And last but not least, let's talk about glass lion turtles. Now, I've explained how glass bending technique would work in my A New Sub-Bending Skill is Revealed video. So if you're a glass bender in training, go check that one out. In that video, I explained how glass bending is actually linked to sand bending, and of course the Siwang tribes. This makes the Siwang Desert the perfect birthplace for glass lion turtles. Unlike the other lion turtles mentioned earlier in this video, these little fellas look more like tortoises than turtles, having flat feet not made for swimming. Like most of their cousins, they would be masters of hiding, being able to become fully transparent, making their whole body made out of glass. They would be quite a task to track down. While it's a good way to escape or be unnoticed, it also makes them more vulnerable and breakable. While this whole theory would make for a really cool Avatar journey, it could also mean that anyone, benders or non-benders alike, could get their hands on these powers. This could mean that a less powerful form of Avatar would be possible if one fighter decides to go out and collect the two other pure elements, and other sub-elements. This could also mean the creation of new tribes and even new nations. Revolution is just around the corner.